Hi, this is Florian from lifesciencementor.com, and today I'm going to talk about day 6 of the 180 days idea challenge, and day 6 is going to be about 13 ways to make airline travel easier. Now, if you travel frequently via airplane, and that's almost a given in nowadays, even for short domestic distances, we don't take the train, rather the plane, then if you're like me, then flying is a little bit unnerving. I love flying to death. I really enjoy flying, but even I have some anxiety the day of the flight. Do I have all my documents? Does everything? Did I pack everything in my suitcase? And so on and so forth. And I'm literally so excited by by the possibility, or by the impending airline travel, that I'm actually often don't even sleep the night before just to be on time at the airport. And here are 13 ways to make like some common worries or problems easier, right? So first of all, prepare for your flight well in advance. With that I mean, I frequently have too many items packed for my holiday. So I frequently travel between Germany and the US, and I simply take too much stuff with me because I think maybe I could use that. You never know. Well, you kind of know, right? So you can make a list after you traveled of things you missed. For example, a comb I sometimes forget, or a travel adapter, right? American power outlets are different from German, and so it's good to have a power outlet adapter, right, where you can use your American machines in Germany or vice versa. Even a charger for an iPhone needs his own power outlet, right, specific for the US or for German market. So that's what you want to bring, and all these things you can write down on a list while you're on holiday or on your business trip or directly after. Just make a list what you needed and what you missed, and then next time you have the list, right? And for your next travel you can be prepared and pretty much know that you didn't forget anything. That's my first advice. Then try checking in early. So you can check in early, like online already. So you already get your boarding pass online, right? Or if you have luggage, especially before international flight, sometimes you have the possibility to check in one day early with your luggage. So yeah, that's an extra trip that you do to the airport, but you can pack your suitcase with all the time in the world you have, then bring it to the airport, and on the day of the flight, you're not stressed out at all anymore. Now, that is an extra trip, but first of all, maybe it's worth to you to do the extra trip, to not be stressed out on the actual flight day. You could choose a time when the airport is less overrun, so that you can just walk in, check in your suitcase, and that's it. Or maybe even a business partner or a friend is living closer by the airport, and you can just like meet up with a friend and then stop by the airport. You could also check into the airport hotel, right? So it costs a little bit extra for a night, but you could just have enough time, again, the day before, leave your apartment, check into the airline hotel, and then you have everything done for you. Next time you can wake up refreshed. You basically just walk over to your terminal. You can even have breakfast in the hotel. That is pretty attractive. And if you spend $1,000 on your holiday anyway, maybe just spend additional $50 to $100 for the airport hotel. That better than getting up in the middle of the night and then having to drive there by car. And for international flights, you have to be there 3 hours early. And for international flight, I'm actually up 6 hours before the flight goes. And frequently, flight goes in the morning. It's like at 9, so means that you have to be there 2 hours at least before the flight goes. You have to go to the airport. That costs an hour. You have to get ready, and I really don't want to get up at 4 or 3 a.m. at night and then cut the time that I'm with my friends and family the evening before short. Instead, just meet at the airport hotel, check in there, and everything's fine. Number 4, you could try to inquire which flights are half empty and which flights are overbooked, usually. A friend of mine works for Lufthansa and he travels on standby, which means he has to show up at the check-in terminal, and then if there's a seat in first or business class, he can just take it and pays only 10 to 20% of what normally the ticket price is because he works for the airline. From that, you learn that there are certain flights that are usually overbooked and certain flights that are pretty empty because he wants to go for the one that are empty so that he can get a seat. He can get a seat in business class. You can use that as well. You could just inquire with the airline which flights are normally super full and which flights are normally half empty. Half empty flights, you can lay down in economy class, have one row for yourself. The overbooked flight, you could be bumped up to first class or business class. So that would make life easier for you. You might be able to travel on a cargo plane. So I don't know whether that's still possible, and I googled it, so it seems like half of people say that's possible, half of people say that's not. Probably if you work for FedEx or any company that ships cargo, these cargo planes have like a couple seats sometimes extra, and it's a more exciting flight. I guess I've never done it, but maybe it's worth an inquiry. So I imagine it's a more exciting flight, and you have more space for your legs and so on and so forth. And you don't wait in long lines from the check-in and so on and so forth. Why not check it? 6, that goes back to my previous mention. If you have a friend who works for the airline, you may be able to just accompany your friend for a holiday, and then you pay less because he can take people with him. Usually they also get a discount off. That will often be family members, but maybe he can take another friend with him, right? That would make traveling easier because you could get for the same price, basically, of a economy class ticket, or just like a little bit more, a fairly reduced business class seat. So that will make traveling easier. Then, especially if you end up on the middle seat, window seat, aisle seat, middle seat, and you can't really put your neck anywhere to sleep, then bring a neck pillow, right? One of these U-shaped stuff that you put around your neck, and then you can just lay back and just always have a soft pillow here. Or bring your favorite pillow with you, whatever it is. It makes life easier. If you do end up with a middle seat, don't just take and accept what fate has in store for you. Go to the check-in counter and ask if you can change, or inquire families, other passengers that are in the check-in terminal, and maybe they got separated, right? So maybe one of them has a window seat next to you, but the other one is just somewhere else in the plane. So you may be able to change with people and then get away from your middle seat, so the person you change with can actually sit next to their wife or husband or father or whatever. In the same vein, sometimes people don't appreciate sitting next to parents that have a baby with them. And here's the thing, normally an airplane, and I learned that when I transported my cello, normally an airline an airplane is comprised of 3 sections that are then fused together at the, I think, bulwarks or whatever you call them. So it's a front section, middle section, end section. Between these sections, you have a space divider, right? And there's a curtain divides the first class from business class from economy, and so on. Those dividers have often some like a hanger where couples can put in their baby stroller or baby cradle. So now, no one really wants to sit next to parents, but when I did that and I transported my cello, I had to sit, my cello had to sit on an extra seat in front of these bulwarks. And there was a family also sitting there who had her baby cradle there. baby was perfectly fine, was not a problem. They were nice. I chatted with them, and sometimes, they have two seats there. Maybe there's a seat free next to them. Somebody else wants to change with you and would rather have a middle seat than sit next to parents with a baby. But you can have your window seat, right, or your aisle seat. And yeah, I mean, why not? Why not just try? That's also like, just ask around. Maybe somebody's willing to change their seat with you. That is number 8. Number 9, prepare your destination. If you frequently travel between, say, your apartment and you visit people in Germany, your parents, you can have some clothes and some books at your parents' place. So basically, you don't need to take those with you. You're already there, and these things are already there in place. That is one. That's number 9. Number 10. Similarly, you can buy your clothes at your destination place. You don't need to take like 20 pairs of clothes with you in a big suitcase. No, just resolve to buy your clothes at the destination place. You don't need to take 1,000 clothes with you when you go for holiday. And the same way you could also, and that fits into number 11, only bring hand luggage. That's my alarm. Okay, so only bring hand luggage. You want to avoid like standing afterwards. You come out of the airplane. What do? You wait for your luggage at this dreadful circle where you have where they unload the suitcases, and you have to wait. It's so much nicer just to have your hand luggage. Take a nice big stroller, something like this. Yeah, take something like this with you, right? You know that, you can take it and then you can roll around with it, take it with you smoothly and easily. Just inquire, just see whether they fit into the luggage compartment, and then you just put it overhead, put it in, and you can get almost everything you need in there. Even me, who needs big shoes because I size 14, and needs like long clothes with 6'4", you can get everything in there. You don't need a suitcase. I personally rather bring hand wash detergent with me and then wash my clothes at my destination place rather than having an extra suitcase for stuff. Right. So that's another way to make traveling easier for you by plane. Number 12, electronic copies of your documents. More and more airlines accept barcodes that are on your phone. And, it's just so much easier. You have all your documents on your phone, and just forget about the hassle of bringing the boarding pass and all that with you as a paper copy, printing it out. No, just put it on your phone and make sure the airline accepts that. And there you go. In addition, you can check in early. You can get your boarding pass from home a day before the flight, and you don't need to. All you need to do is basically walk to the counter, get your little label that you put on your carry-on luggage, and your boarding pass gets some signature, whatever you need. Sometimes you exchange the electronic boarding pass for paper one there. So basically, the bottom line is, don't take an extra suitcase. Put your stuff into carry-on luggage. Have your documents on your phone. Stroll into the airport, relaxed. Check in at the counter quickly. Show your passport, and then just go through the security checkpoint to the flight. And number 13, that struck me when I was applying for a visa at the embassy in Germany before I went to the US. There was a guy who was a Dutch conductor for an orchestra, and they would do frequent tours through the US. And every time he had to, as a Dutch national, every time he had to apply for a new visa just for those 3 days of tour to the US. That was pretty annoying. You have to go to the embassy and then you waste half a day at least. Now, if that is a frequent status with his job, then maybe in that case he should apply for a green card or a citizenship or whatever to just make life easier. Yeah, if you frequently travel between two different countries, apply for citizenship of your country there. It just makes things easier. Maybe on the long run, you even want to contemplate settling down in those countries where you always work. If your main focus of life is always there, why not do that? So, that were my 13 tips for making airline travel easier. Since I do fly by airplane, I would be happy if you could have some additional ideas. Let me know in the comments. I'll answer any comment below, either on my blog, lifesciencementor.com, or on the YouTube comments. Like this if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again on my journey through 180 days to become an idea machine. Glad to be with you today, and see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.